Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I am on the free-to-play. We are on the road to Hydra now, I guess. Maybe we'll say it's on the road to Hydra. Anyway, yeah, so I guess, you know what? It should be on the road to 1 key. I think that's what we got to be doing, because obviously we're in Hydra. But like, how good are we doing in Hydra? That's the question. Anyway, today's video is not Hydra video. That's not what we're doing. I have some soul shards. I've been kind of pushing occasionally. Just a little bit, some of the Iron Twin Fortress, so we're kind of moving up a little bit here. The game keeps kind of cutting out on me, which is a little bit disturbing. I'd like to get those extra soul shards, so actually I'm gonna go ahead and let that run. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss the next one. It shouldn't be too long of a run, I don't think. But while this is going on, you know, we had this Razzleberg fusion. Razzleberg, I don't know. We have this rabbit fusion coming up here, and I figured we could talk a little bit about like what it means to prep for this fusion. Now, I will preface, I am not prepped for this fusion. I don't run a free-to-play in the most optimal style. This has to be said. This is just like a foundational thing we need to understand. That is not what I'm doing. So what does that mean? It means that I haven't done most of these little tips that I'm gonna impart on you here. But like, what are the things that we can do? Well, one of the best things that we can do is obviously start prepping food. Champion training tournaments are incredibly difficult. That means if I have champions about ready to 5-star or 6-star, don't do it yet. Wait, right? I should prep as many of those 3-star food as I can, 4-star food as I can, 5-star food as I can. So when that champion training event comes around, I can easily upgrade every one of my champions as quick as possible. Another really important thing that's going to be very helpful, especially, you know, when you're starting to, especially for these big fusions, right? These are the ones where you have to get 4 rares and fuse it into 1 epic. You have to rank up and ascend, and then you have to do that 4 times, fuse into the legendary champion. Anytime you're doing those, one of the things that we always forget about are the ascension pots, right? You need those potions from the potion keeps, and that can be a real big kind of problem in between. And honestly, one of the best ways to prep for a fusion is well before the fusion, like a week ago would have been nice, is run those potion keeps. So I make sure I have a backup of the pots that I need. It doesn't mean I have to have all of them, right? I can go back and run more potion keeps if I need to, but once the fusion's going on, pretty much all my energy, all my gems, all my attention is on the events for the fusion itself. I don't have time to really indulge in other things, right? And so that's gonna be a big one usually. Now I just spent a bunch of, you know, I recently just ranked up 2 champions to 6-star, right? I just, you know, both Jizzo and Eliana. So I ran them all through a Minotaur. So I actually spent a fair amount of my resources doing that recently. And if I was doing this the optimal way, I would have waited for this moment here. I would have waited for this fusion and then been like, this is perfect. I can use all those chickens to rank up those champions, get a bunch of champion training points. I can use those gems in Minotaur, leveling up those champions and get a bunch of champion training points. That would have been good. So just kind of understanding like what are the events that are going to be coming through, where we're going to have all the major dungeons, right? Ice Golem, Fire Knight, Dragon, Spider. So saving up, you know, making sure you have enough gems and energy in order to be able to do that. Definitely helpful. You know, one thing that's going to be generally pretty easy are going to be the arena stuff, because obviously you have those you know, that's not going anywhere. There's no time basis. There's not even like a real resource cost on that. You basically do your 10 fights, 10, 15 fights every day. You should be in pretty good shape. So that's not really much of an issue. I guess it's 25, right? Big refill and a small refill. Yeah, so like 25, whatever. That's not a big issue. The bigger one is usually going to be that champion training one, which we've talked about. And then also the other one that's going to be a pain in the butt is going to be the artifact enhancement usually, because if there's one thing a free-to-play is always short on, it's silver, and that's always a very difficult thing to get a hold of, right? And so how do we go about doing that? How do we get the silver that we need? Well, it's a tricky one there, right? That's always going to be a bit of a quandary as far as how to best go about doing that. One of the things I would recommend is ranking up your champions, your gear, I should say, to 15, right? You want to hit the cutoff right before the cutoff point. So ranking up as much of your gear that you're going to use to 15 to 11 is definitely, I think, the way that you want to go about doing that. Okay, this is, I'm gonna have to, oh, did we survive enough to get in some turns here? Man, I was like, I don't know, we're gonna be able to do this. This guy keeps whooping our butts here. We didn't do, gosh, we got so close too. Bad RNG on that. Well, that's fine. Well, I'll hit that again at some point. But anyway, you know, the big thing is just getting your gear up to that spot so that once that artifact enhancement event comes live, you can pretty much instantly just pounce on it and start ranking stuff up. And so that's kind of what you'd want to do. Now, obviously, I have not done that, guys. You know, like this right here, if this is a piece that I want to keep, I rank that up 3 more times, and then I sit on it and I wait until the artifact enhancement event is starting, is over, whatever, and I rank that up. But this is a great time where you have, look, I'm like most of you guys, I have all this gear that's unrolled, right? So what do? Well, I'm looking to rank up stuff that I feel like I'm going to really need going forward. So anything with speed on it obviously is going to have an advantage for me, right? And so I'm going to rank that up. That's looking good already. And so basically I'm trying to get this up to right now, because I don't have the silver to take it to 15. I'm going to try and take it to 11, and then I'm going to stop, because every time you roll a piece of gear to those 4 level breakpoints, rank 4, level 4, level 8, level 12, level 16, every time you roll it to that, you get bonus. That's where you get the points from. It doesn't matter if you roll it from 10 to 11. It only matters if you roll it from 11 to 12. And so taking this gear to that breakpoint is great, because then it becomes a quick and easy way to get those extra levels in, right? And so that's one of the best ways to go about prepping for this. Those are the two obvious ones. Obviously, you know, there's other things coming in, right? We're going to need a champion chase event. There's going to be a summon rush. So having shards, having champions ready to go for that is very helpful. As you can see, I don't really have a lot of that. I got a couple rare champions over here. That's like a whippity doodah. I've got some shards, but obviously we just had that 2x and I splurged and pulled my ancients. So I'm trying to save as many sacreds and voids especially as I can. Those are the ones, especially for the summon rush, that are going to be the most helpful for me. Champion chase, I can, you know, fudge a little bit with champions that I might have, you know, I have fragments of and done fusions of in the past. So those are, you know, some ways I can kind of help mitigate that, but it's also a little bit more, you know, hit or miss, because it depends how many epics you get versus how many legendaries, and you get different points for all that. And those are usually the things that are going to keep an account down, right? I mean, I can pull all 1,000 mystery shards I have, but it's not usually the way I like to go about doing things. So what's my alternative? Save my sacred, save my voids for those events specifically. They won't always, you know, sync up with a 2x event, but that is something that will happen. Now, because of the timing of this, it's usually a 2-week period, right? So this first week we just had a 2x for ancient. Next one is going to be 2x for sacred. And so one of the things I know is that whatever event is this weekend, the weekend after that is going to coincide with a 2x for sacred shards. So I want to save as many of my sacreds as possible for the second weekend, so I can double dip, right? So it's probably going to be a summons rush, because, you know, Plarium knows how to do it. Probably going to be a summon rush this weekend, and then it'll be a champion chase the weekend afterwards. And so that's kind of probably be how it is. Those might be inverted, but typically that's how it works. And, you know, if I can save my sacred shards for that, all the better. If I can't, stay lovey. Such is life. But anyway, that's kind of the basic prep of it, right? It's save your shards, you know, roll up only, you know, right up to the edge of what you want with your gear, and yeah, save your energy and stuff. You save your gems specifically. So that's the idea behind it. I don't know how much prep. I knew I didn't get a lot of prep in this time. That's one of the reasons why I pulled all my shards, is like, I'm not really prepared for this event. And that is something as a free to play. If you want to do these fusions, you really do want to prepare for it. And so that's going to be, I think, pretty important. I like this champion from what I can see on paper, right? Razzlevar looks to be really, really good, and I think somebody that you want to fuse if you can, but I don't think it's going to be like a must fuse necessarily champion. Just really interesting. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in this kit that, you know, does make me think, oh, this guy could be pretty cool. Could be pretty cool to bring into our team. So definitely kind of want to keep that part in mind. Anyway, that's that part. I do have some souls I figured I would summon, kind of cap off this video and see what else we can get out of this. Obviously, every one of these has a pretty big impact on my free-to-play account. You know, and depending what you get can be pretty huge. 2-star and 3-star, I'm down with that. A couple epics that are, you know, pretty useful generally. Okay, cool. Slither Brute, not what I needed. Oh, but you know, I'm out of silver. Out of silver. All the things to run out of, it's silver. Joking me. Okay, let's keep pulling. Got 2 more to go here. Hoping we get something useful. I mean, the chances are pretty low. Chances are super low to get anything valuable out of this, so not expecting anything. And we didn't get anything, so that worked out perfectly. All right, there you go. There we go. So we got basically nothing out of that, which is not to be surprised. I guess I could sell some of these, right? Bunch of these I don't need. Yeah. Sell all those. These other ones I don't really need. I need any you all. Need you. Need you. Or you. Or you, actually. The more I think about it, I don't really need any of these epics. I don't think any of them are going to be super clutch for me, so not too worried about it. Sell those bad boys. Go back to the market here. Buy some more of these bad boys here. There is a Deliana Perfect Soul. I would actually like to get that, but obviously I'm a little bit short, so that's going to be probably not something I'm going to get today. Anyway, yeah, so that's the video. Nice and simple. Opened some shards, talked a little bit about prepping for the fusion. I wish you guys the best luck on it. I think that it's going to be obviously a bit of a challenge, but I think it'll be worth doing that challenge if you can. So anyway, that's what we got for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.